this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's rhyming. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way. think you only love me cause I'm poppin'.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another excited edition of Walking This Way's Impact Work Podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. I am the CEO and the founder of Walking This Way's Impact Work Podcast, based here in the DFW. Yes, that is Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. Back with my lovely co-host, Lady D herself. Desiree, what's going on with you this morning? Looking good as always.
Oh, thank you. Rough night, stayed up way too late, but I'm so excited to be on this morning.
Well, I'm glad you made it. I know you've been up all night, and well, that make both of us. And I worked last night too, because when I texted you around, I think about like 3 something this morning,
Yeah.
I was at work sending you the information to log on with me this morning. But I'm very thankful, and I'm very honored that you with me, ride with me one more time, right?
Yes.
With me, and we're interviewing Tasha Majors. I hope I said that right. He's out of Chicago. Of course, he's going to be unplugging it. I know he's getting everything set up on his end. But I'm very excited, Desiree. We made it through another week, of course. This is April 1st, of course. You know, this is April Fools. You know, everybody do the April Fool jokes, whatever. But this is also my birthday month. Your boy will be turning 41 years old on April 23rd. I'm very excited. Still a young man, of course. But most important, I'm very excited about what's taking place, Desiree, with the podcast. I'm very excited. Matter of fact, when you put in Walking This Ways, Impact Voice in Google, all our information pop up, the shows and everything. So as some of the folks say, Google me. Well, Google us. When you Google us, the podcast pops up. So I'm very excited about that. The grind, the work, still been grinding, still been putting the work there. I'm just excited. Of course, you know, we got the new series coming up in next month, the New Faces of Dallas.
Yes.
They're coming. I'm very excited about that. We want to showcase a lot of extraordinary men and women who are doing extraordinary things here in the DFW. That's almost booked up. We still accepting people, Desiree. So I'm very excited about that series. Also, we got a jam-packed episodes too as well, Desiree, for the month of April. You know, kicking off right now what I get for April 1st. There's a lot of great things going on here on the show. We thank everybody for their love. We thank everybody for their support. And most important, we just thank everybody for just rocking with us on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturday night, of course. But like I said, I'm very excited, Desiree, and I know you had a great week. Also, happy birthday to your son's birthday.
Yes.
Weekend. Big shout out to him as well. Big shout out to everybody who's watching us as we live streaming right now on Facebook Live, Twitter, and YouTube. And like I said, we want everybody to help us out. Go to our YouTube channel. Just type in Walking This Ways Impact Voice Podcast. Right now, we want to get up to 1K subscribers. We want to make sure we bring great content, Desiree, here on the podcast. Things that people can just relate to, things they can learn, things they can just go back and listen. What we say, what our guests say, that really strikes home, and that really want to make you change. You know, change for the better. It is already the fourth month of 2023. You know, we get excited about changes in the first of the year. We get excited and we go through the year being a mediocre, being complacent, not taking inventory, get excited, and we get so emotional, but we never see the change that we're looking for. We see a lot of people make changes. Cool, we're supposed to grow. We're supposed to evolve. I know you should want to evolve, but it's there for you, and it starts with you. Everything starts with you first. So, like I said, I'm very excited. Like I said, nobody ready to pull our guest in. Make sure he's ready. I know he's setting up from what I'm looking at. So that's why I really put him in yet, just yet. But want him to be prepared, of course. We all about working in excellence, the spirit of excellence, of course. Because, like I said, we on here to just make sure we bring y'all great content on this great Saturday morning. So I'm very excited. While he's doing that, there's what else been going on with you? I know you're doing a lot of great things in the city, of course. I know your weeks be so busy and hectic. I don't say the word busy, productive.
Yeah, productive. Yeah. So I have my veterans graduation coming up on Monday. So I've just been planning for that. Excited that, we've got like eight, I guess, veterans that have finished their program with the City of Dallas Veterans Treatment Court. So we're just going to honor them and, continue to support them on, reducing those barriers.
And just talk about how excited it is for the graduate for these veterans to, help them get their lives back on track. I know I'm not a veteran, but the transition from that to where they at now, and we know we see a lot of veterans, you know, get off course and stuff like that. But it takes a special individual as yourself to do this kind of work. Because we know everybody, some people don't have the heart to do what you do, and I applaud you and I give you roses for that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I love it. I love seeing their, success and celebrating that. Some of them have little barriers, some of them it's quite, a struggle for them. So just knowing that we're offering that support system for them and making sure that they're not doing that alone, I think is so important. And, it's so nice whenever you have somebody that comes into the program that is really struggling. And then when they finish the program 6 months or a year, however long it takes them to come out, clean and sober, now able to get their VA benefits and then also just finding them employment, housing, whatever it may be. It's just a really good, privilege to get to be a part of that. And then knowing that they're getting all those citations taken care of without having to pay anything out of their pocket. It's a pretty exciting deal for us.
That's it. I'm trying to see. Somebody said no sound. You can hear me. Can you hear me this right?
I can hear you.
All right, so let's get somebody saying that is no sound. I don't have no sound, but I can hear you. You hear me. I don't know. I don't know, but it should be. He said no sound, but
Yeah, I see that he said that.
that's on the YouTube. But I don't know. But like I said, we can hear each other. So, hey, if y'all watching us, if you can hear us, just put some in the comments and let you know that you can hear us. That's what we want to know. If you can hear us, let us know something. Because somebody said they cannot hear us. But I see somebody put a heart up. So I'm assuming they can. We'll see. But
We're gonna have to start doing some closed captions.
yeah, Mike. So yeah, because it says no sound, but I don't want to go to the YouTube one because I go to the YouTube when I hear myself. But let me see. You probably it said no sound, but if anybody else is watching, let us know. But I can hear you. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
I don't know. Let me see. Okay, with somebody else no sound. But I don't know. Okay, he said okay better. Cool beans.
Okay,
cool beans.
good. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate that. Where are you tuning in from?
Yeah, put in the comment where you tuning in from. We appreciate you. Thank you for taking time out of your productive schedule to watch us. He said okay better. Cool beans. So
I'd love for all the viewers that log in every time we're on that they would tell us that they could tell us where they're logging in at. I think that'd be kind of neat to see.
Desiree said, let us know. Was it? Okay, Fort Worth, Texas. Big shout out to Fort Worth.
Yeah, yay.
Awesome. Like I said, we about to get to pull our guests in. Big shout out to if we got Fort Worth in the house, of course. And we have our guests with us this morning. What's up with you, Ty? How you doing this morning, sir?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all feeling today?
Oh, we
Good.
doing good, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us this morning here on the podcast. We're talking hip hop, we're talking brands, we're
Yes,
talking
sir.
everything here on the podcast. And I know Desiree got some questions for you as well. We
Yes, sir.
thank you. I know we been had this set up. I think early this year, little part of last year. I think we had it set up. You accepted the invitation. We appreciate you hanging out with me and Desiree this morning. And I sent her some information about your bio. I sent that to you so she get a feel of who you are and stuff like that. And I know she's just gonna hit you with some questions and stuff like that. And like I said, we thank you once again. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience that's watching us right now on Walking This Way Impact Woods podcast.
All right, man. I'm T.Y. Shot Major, Chicago artist, community activist. I'm kind of unknown in that aspect as far as my community goes, but that's something that I'm pushing as far as bringing people together and just opening up a new avenue when it comes to communicating, networking, and building, growing, and just being a better community, a better population of people as a race of people, not just as a community, but starting with the community, trying to build a better race of people. Just starting with the new generation. Because right now you see in a lot of the current generations, it's kind of everybody stuck in their ways. You can't really get through to nobody. So it starts with the new generation and so on.
Yeah, and we know we have a lot of work to do in our generation. I see it. I know Desiree see it, especially here in DFW. There's a lot of work to be done. A lot of things, and we know now in a generation, it's like people are more complacent than ever. Uh, no lack of direction, lack of guidance. Just don't know where to go, don't know where to turn. Main thing I really see a lot, and I know Desiree, she could jump in on what she sees herself. I see a lot from where I come see from a lot of complacency, a lot of people being complacent, murmuring, complaining, so angry, so negative about everything, negative about work, negative about their life, negative about their relationships. So much negativity, and to the point, man, I don't want to hear it. You want to protect your spirit because because you know what? Hey, I got a mission I got to achieve. I got goals I got to achieve, and we know from all types of angles, all type of stuff headed our direction. Desiree, what kind of stuff do you see on your end that you pick up what we see more and more in everyday life?
I think a lot of our negativity is things that we've been discussing. I think social media plays a big part of that. When we're not posting the things that are positive out there and how to, do some self-love, I think that everybody has this misconception of what you're supposed to be like, what you're supposed to look like, how, what's the cool way to act to be able to fit in versus, having good positive role models out there that says just love yourself and be kind. So I think that plays a big part on how our younger generations are behaving.
Yeah. So like I said, oh yeah, though. Like I said, we'll apply you, Ty, on what you're doing. I mean, just give us a background about yourself, for the audience that's meeting you for the very first time.
Okay, well, I'm from Chicago. I come from the projects of Chicago. I come from the struggle. I come from the gutter. I'm real versatile. I'm very I got many outlooks on life. So I like I said, I'm from the projects. I'm from the bottom, but I actually lived in the suburbs for a small period of time. So I got a taste of that. And it's just moving around. I've been through all over the city, from the east to the west to the south. And I actually lived in Fort Worth, Texas for about a year as well.
Okay.
And just being all over. I went to Job Corps my second year, after my second year of high school, and that was in St. Louis. So I'm always been the type to get around and just always take in a lot of information from all over the place. So and with my outlook, I just got a different outlook. So one minute I grew up in the projects, but I also grew up in a Christian church. You feel me? I grew up going to church as a Christian. And I have my own outlook in life, so I'm looking at it straightforward. Like I never really believed in the Bible because I never really took the time to even, read into it. But at the same time, that was one of my main thing that kind of built me to who I am today. So let's just say from there, it's just I'm trying to explain how I look at a lot of things, and so from all those aspects, I can see that well, it's more about who I am. So let me just tell you, I just started doing music as a kid. Just going see with all the stuff that I was seeing, all the stuff that I was experiencing growing up. I just learned to relay it in music, and I was just music just run through my family. It's like something that goes through my bloodline. Everybody is talented music wise, and so it's just something that I was basically it's instilled in me as a kid. So um that's just been my thing. It's just music and just everything that got something to do with broadcasting, really, because I'm pretty good in that full area of media broadcasting.
And that's
But
what's up.
yeah, I can't really take you through my life because it's a long story. I could tell you where it started though. It started at the bottom, and it's a climb, you know.
Right. And but like I said, we're glad you're here to share it. I'm gonna let Desiree read this comment.
Um,
Um,
it says that we have to find ways to fight the lure of the lifestyles of drug dealers, gang members, and shooters.
what you say about that? That's in the comment section from Manuel, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. We have to find ways to fight. So we got to say about that one for that comment right there. You elaborate on that one.
I think he's rereading it real quick.
With that, it only take all it take is people actually setting a good example and being a spokesperson and a role model for the younger people that's coming up. If you're not there to tell them and show them what they need to be doing or what they could be doing rather than what they seeing being done, then it's only what's gonna be a product of their environment is who they are. That's the only outcome of that situation. If you're not changing or swaying their mind in any way, shape, or form, then they're only gonna be molded from what they take in.
Hmm.
Right. And I know growing up, we used to have a lot of programs in place. A lot of. I mean, I remember. I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama. I've been living here in Texas for 2 going on 3 years. And I remember growing up in the '90s, you had a lot of stuff for kids. They had the little dances. They had especially in sports. You had them old school coaches who didn't play with you. If you weren't passing in school, you was not playing those sports at all. But them times, like we don't see those times no more. It's like now you see a kid, maybe I gonna say a child, maybe failing in school, but you got the coaches still want to play them and will reward them for lack of lack of education. And it's like now we're to the point now where we want to call good, we'll call evil good, good evil. It's like I hold you accountable. I'm evil. I'm the enemy. I'm the bad guy. But if I just give you a pat on the back, even though I see you screwing up, but I'm telling you still doing good, it's like okay, that's the love, but it's not.
Well, it's also because our schools are more worried about, being the best school, and not necessarily the best school for the grades anymore. It's like who's doing the best in sports, who's been winning the most games. And so, but you also have a lot of our, younger generation growing up in that, privileged mindset of regardless of my actions, I should still get it. I mean, we talk about this every single show. A lot of them just don't know those ethics of working hard for what you want to make sure that your dreams come true.
Yeah, 'cause I know when in the '90s, especially in the '90s, they was big on you getting your education. They were big on you going to school, going to college, make something out yourself. Them was the expectation they had. Were back in the '90s, but like when the '90s died down, it's like do whatever. It's like people don't even talk about. You don't really see people talk about, hey, I want to go to school, do this. And you very rarely see it, but you don't see it as much. It's
But
like go ahead.
I think what's really happening is basically what you're being given is is a small aspect of what actually is. So when you look at social media and you look at TV and you look at wherever you get your news and your information from, you have to notice that that's only a portion of what's actually going on. So you have to actually see it for yourself to believe it too. Like you have to see it to believe it, but it's actually people out here doing amazing things. That's actually it's people out here living the right way, but it's just never what's what's popping. It's never what's hot. It's nothing that's being talked about. It's nothing that's being broadcasted. So in that aspect, we have to broadcast that more often, just as well as the negativity that's being pushed. So the people that's pushing negativity has got to be a force that's pushing against it. Whether you fighting the negativity or you just pushing positivity in general, it has to be a yin and a yang.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. But that's, right now we live in a society where it's, more things that are negative are being talked about and being publicized. And, that's what everybody's feeding into instead of wanting to talk about all the good that's going on out there. That's why you're exactly right. There needs to be that yin to the yang, because if you're not, then we're every day, if all you're seeing is negative, then that's all you're going to feel like is in the world. Then your attitude turns to this negative, aspect, instead of, if you're out there advertising all of the good that people are out there doing, like yourself, then it makes others want to be inspired to do the same thing.
exactly. So it's a chain effect. It's basically what it is. So you see monkey do. It's a world full of followers, and then you got leaders. But what are your leaders doing? Are they creating more leaders, or are they just you know
And what it is, Ty, is the leaders. Some of the leaders, I don't say all the leaders, but some of the leaders is teaching other people how to think like them. It's like becoming a coach. It's like they're not
Mhm.
teaching them how to think for themselves. It's good to have good information,
Well,
but
that's what I said. Are you creating more leaders, or are you feeding into the stream?
yeah, because majority everybody wants to, well, like I said, follow the in crowd, but don't want to stand out because they don't want to go through the persecution of being right, staying in righteousness, being in right standing. And you see a lot of people who are putting out great information to us, but they get attacked for the great information they put out to us. But now it's like, damn you do, damn you don't. But we know that you always gonna stand in your square. You're not gonna get moved off your square because you know who you are as a man, as an individual. So I know what I stand for. I know what I believe in, and I'm not gonna compromise with anybody. So we know we get to now. It's like people want to compromise. It's like I was it go along just to get along instead
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
fighting for what you believe in, stand for what you believe. Because think about it, when you stand up for a righteous cause, you're not going to be accepted by everybody. And we know that this
Exactly,
road, this
exactly.
journey can be very lonely. Go ahead.
Exactly. No, but I'm really strategic with how I move. So when I speak with people and when I'm getting to know people, I'm never really getting too comfortable around anybody. So it's always a sense of who are you, what is your purpose, what do you want, and how can I help you? Like without being too too available. When you make yourself too available, it basically takes down your work. But other than that, yeah, you got to be strategic with everything you do. So I'm not against, or I'm not really against too many things, because you can't really take everything for what it is or what you see it for. You kind of gotta, the way, especially in Chicago, a lot of the way Chicago is, you look at one situation and it'll be another. So you got to kind of play your cards correctly. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I
That's
feel
great.
what you're saying, though. I feel what you're saying, but me personally, I think of a lot of things strategic.
And
Yep.
sadly, you have to these days. I was just
Yeah.
talking to some girlfriends about how, back in the day, you could sleep with your door open and just have the screen door, closed. And then,
Mhm.
as kids, we were riding our bikes until, you just had to make sure you were home before dark, before those street lights came on. Now we don't even let our kids go outside anymore. We
Mhm.
definitely, times have definitely changed, but I also think that's also changed in how our younger generation behaves too. They don't know what it's like to have to drink water out of a water hose. It's like, where's that filtered water at? You know, they don't know what it's like if you turn it on in the summer and it's really hot and it burns you because you didn't let it go through. And so it's definitely a different generation. You know, they're sitting inside on computers and Xbox and PlayStations, and, you know, they don't know, they don't have any idea. But I also feel like you're missing out a lot. I mean, I miss those days of playing war out in the, you know, the woods with my brother and his friends, and, you know, trying to be the badass girl that doesn't get, you know, shot with an actual BB gun, because back then we're doing real BB guns playing war. And so, you know, having to climb a tree to hide it, and, you know, to hide from them and stuff. And then, you know, playing victim so that one of them would feel sorry for me and not shoot me. Those are the days.
You had a real fun childhood.
I mean, you know, we did the things of stupid, like, you know, getting a coffee can. Let's play kick the can. You know, everybody hides and you got to try to sneak up to kick the can. And, you know, that's how I wish that our kids could be raised today without the worry of what could happen to them.
Kickball. I remember kickball. Remember that kickball, dodgeball. Was it 1, 2, 3 red light? You know, that all that stuff. Man, it was so much fun. Baseball, football, basketball in the yard, in the park. The bikes. I remember back. Everybody used to have a bike, especially around Christmas time. Everybody got a brand new bike. Everybody in the neighborhood used to go ride. Then was the day. You know, it was no being a child. It was no care in the world. You know, you was out with your friends, hanging out, doing things. And then when people turned 16, got their driver's license. Oh, got a car. You know, got your little part-time job when you was in school. There was the days, you know what I'm saying? There were the days right there. Like,
I mean, absolutely. You know, when you were trying to figure out if you could balance yourself on somebody else's handlebars on the bicycle, because they didn't have the pegs for you to ride on the back or something, you know, and you're like, you better not drop me. that was our risky lifestyle back then.
and then anything about right before school came. Oh, the super soakers. Remember the super soakers? Everybody used to have the super soakers. You shoot each other and stuff. Water, the water balloon fights? Oh man, it was just so much stuff that we had. Shoot, days that me we had to be in the house before the street lights came on. But like you said, that right. I mean, you don't need. Do chairs still go out today? I don't really see them like they used to. It may
the
be
what?
A group. Do chairs still go outside today? It's on their select.
Oh, I don't know. You know, I got a trampoline for my grandbaby and for my, you know, niece, and my niece was like all excited, and she was like, well, will you put it in the garage? And I said, why would I put the trampoline in the garage? And she's like, well, because I want to sleep on the trampoline. You said you used to sleep on the trampoline all the time. I said, yeah, outside. She was like, oh, somebody could get me. And I'm like, yeah, you're not living, you know, you're not living until, you know, I mean, you know, this girl here, you know, when your friends all, you know, laid out on the trampoline with some baby oil, put a little bit of peroxide in your hair to give yourself some little natural highlights. And then, you know, you slept over, you had a big sleepover on the trampoline at night. We never worried if somebody was going to come get us. And now she's wanted me to set my trampoline up in the garage so that she could have a sleepover. Times have definitely changed.
Yeah, walking through the woods was something back then. I remember we used to walk through the woods and stuff. It used to be a trail. We used to walk through the trail in the woods. Oh, summertime, blackberries. You used to go pick blackberries during the summertime. But you had to be careful because you didn't want to pick a snake up, the black snakes. But
look how different even our water parks are. Used to, parents would drop their kids off and have them hang out at the water park all day. And we thought we were cool as anything. Now, you know, even the water parks are like, don't be dropping them kids off and leaving them here. A parent must attend a child at all times.
You got pedophiles out there. You know, they got some pedophiles out there. You got to be careful.
It's definitely different.
I'm just listening to y'all childhood stories, and I'm just thinking how different our childhoods were. Like, I could attest to some of those. Like she was saying, the BB guns and the real shootouts with the BB guns, and I mean, yeah, we used to do a lot of stuff as kids, but mine was a little different. I had a lot of crazy experiences with like fights and all type of nonsense growing up. So I had a real wild childhood, so that's why I'm more humbled to this day. Like I know that, you feel me, it's a lot more to life than just having so much fun and forgetting that you living, you know, because when you're living in the moment, you forget that you got a whole life ahead of you. And sometimes it'll take you it'll take you a long time to realize how much you lost or how much you didn't perform when you wasn't realizing that you had to perform, you know.
Right. Yeah, most definitely.
So yeah, that's where I'm at now, like compared to where I was then.
I mean, I assure you, I think that we had to live in a life of also just being really creative, for your imagination, as a child. But I definitely, I mean, if you've ever listened to any of our earlier podcasts, I assure you that childhood wasn't as wonderful as I would have hoped it to be. But I think it's also shaped me to who I am today. And for that, not that I would have ever wished for any of that stuff to have happened to me, but I definitely think it's made me the empathetic person that I am today. And the whole reason why I guess I choose, a career to give back to others. So, I think it's all in the mindset. You have people that, will grow up and say, oh, well, this happened and this happened. And it's more of an excuse of what happened. You can't. And then, so then
Hmm.
they want to justify that for their behaviors today. And
Hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, you know, like really, like at the end of the day, I could sit around and say that, I'm choosing to make poor decisions because of being molested my whole life, or because, I was beaten by my stepmom or being raped. I mean, I can sit there and make an excuse and say I've had to live on my own since I was 16. So I've known no other life but the struggling life. But instead I decided, that I was going to be different from what that, statistics said that would happen to somebody like me. Statistics show that you're going to be, if usually if you have that toxic of a childhood and then you end up moving out at 16, most of the time you're going to be a high school dropout. You obviously are not thinking that you're going to be going to college for anything, right? And so I thought to myself, like, I couldn't control what happened to me growing up, but I can definitely choose who I'm going to be as an adult today. And so, yes, did it take me, 17 years after high school to go get that, master's degree or even to start college? I mean, I didn't even go to college until, to get my associates. But I said, this is what I want for myself. This is what I'm going to do. And I could sit around and I won't say that, I don't get depressed and think about, that shitty childhood. But at the end of the day, I think to myself, I can either try to, I can either let that change who I am in the sense of the depression or the excuses for, poor choices. Or I could sit there and say, what can I learn from that? Not saying I approve of what happened, but what can I do to make a difference so that it doesn't happen, to other people? Or, just using my voice for so long, it was like, stay quiet, hush, hush, don't talk about what happened to you. You were embarrassed, you felt ashamed. And then now I think, screw that. Like, God gave me a voice and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because there needs to be awareness. There needs to be people that know the signs of what to watch for. And I want to be that voice that says you don't need to be ashamed. You had no control over this. And so, but I also want people to see that even though I'm not where, I want to continue to grow. I'm not where I'm not going to ever just stay comfortable. I want people to understand that you don't have to let it, rule out the chances of you being somebody successful. And what success looks like to one person looks different to another. And so I'm not meaning as in success, as in you have to have your face all over tabloids or you making $1 million bucks. Success could be that you can live functionally without that trauma affecting you every day. And so I definitely, think that every one of us goes through a different walk, in life. And
Mhm.
I think it's always so good, like seeing somebody who didn't have it easy decide to do something wonderful with their life.
Yeah, try to make a change for other people as well, for sure.
And that's good. So before we get back into it, we're gonna do a quick commercial break, and after that, we're gonna jump in our Q&A conversation with Ty. So everybody watching with us, if you're in the comment section, let us know where you are watching this from, and we will give you a big shout out. So after this commercial break, we're gonna jump into our Q&A conversation with Ty.
Hi, my name is Delashawn Bordeaux, and I'm the founder of Speak Our Truth, a nonprofit for survivors of sexual assault. Join us April 8th 2023 for I Survived from Trauma to Triumph. This time will be spent together sharing stories of triumph from survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, divorce, and sickness. So grab your girls and make sure y'all purchase your tickets at www.speakourtruth.org. It's time for us to redefine the beauty that lies beneath our pain. See you there.
With today's technological advances and fast-paced life, BMS is your trusted next-generation IT solutions provider that keeps you ahead of the competition. From humble beginnings, BMS Company is now one of the fastest-growing software engineering service providers, with international presence and golden reputation for excellence. The BMS Company is your one-stop global destination for web development, mobile application development, digital marketing, SEO, Facebook and Google advertising, social media management, business consulting, printing services, and many more. BMS is trusted to provide timely, cost-effective solutions. At BMS, we believe in providing guaranteed results, irrespective of a project's complexity. No stories, no excuses. And core to all of our operation is that we practice what we preach, and we deliver what we promise. We're proud of our dream team of solution-driven enthusiasts, comprising of industry experts in various fields, including blockchain, IoT, and AI. Our unique makeup and cooperate synergy enables BMS to add heart to technology while delivering our trademark exceptional results for our esteemed customers. Get free 3 months of hosting and 30 days SEO when you partner with us today. Call us now on 469-992-4567 or visit our website at thebmscompany.com.
A once tight-knit family bond.
Damn it, Tito, didn't I tell you that I'm vacationing? I am retired, which means all our duties have been relinquished.
You still the same. Wake up fussing. I just come home for a little while. I ain't trying to stay in this roach motel.
I still can't figure out how you gonna do that. Honey, you see, when the Lord created me, He created a mighty great sunbeam made in His image. And plus, Yoshi always rolling her damn eyes. One day I got her good. I put a little bit of crazy on her eyelashes while she was asleep, and she couldn't roll her eyes for 3 days. Oh, and that's the time when her eyes is real puffy. I remember when I saw her, I was like, girl, you looking just like your mama with all them bags. I told you about playing with me.
It's broken. When the battle of addiction is lost, resurfacing childhood
You
trauma.
need to get some help. I need to get some help? Really? You're the one that loses friends when you put too much liquor in your body. Okay, and you're the one who ruined your marriage because you're so traumatized and traumatized me all my life.
And revealing family secrets.
I said before you was broken, I recently lost my best friend. My right hand, my mother.
Leaving one innocent soul demonized. You broke Ma's heart.
I really lost my whole family. But most importantly, I lost myself.
Crucified, the stage play, showing April 14th and 15th at the Slayton House in Columbia, Maryland.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here on Walking This Way's Impact Force podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. We're broadcasting once again from the TFW along with my co-host, Desiree herself. We're glad to be back with y'all on this lovely Saturday morning. This is the first Saturday of April. We know this is springtime. We know this is time where people are getting out, enjoying themselves, enjoying the nice weather. Get out, go to the park, have a barbecue, invite family and friends over, and just grill out for the day. You know, this is a great Saturday. We know that basketball going on, college basketball is going on, but we know the NFL draft is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to football season again, especially for them Dallas Cowboys, because I have to get my ticket to go to a game this year. So I always gonna ride with the Cowboys no matter what. But like I said, we're waiting on T.Y. to join us back. Desiree, but we're talking about some good stuff. Big shout out to everybody who's watching us right now, as we're live streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And like I said, if you're watching us, go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe on the comment. I mean, like, subscribe, and share. Like I said, click the notification button. You catch us out when we go live stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And like I said, we're going to jump in our Q&A conversation. And T, I got some questions for you as well. And I
Right,
know
all right.
Desiree got some questions for you also. So my first question is, I know you mentioned rap music earlier. So my question is, how did you get into rap music?
Man, I had a few artists um that I was listening to. I mean, I just grew up on rap music. It was just in me. Like I said, I probably was born listening to rap music. I don't know. It's just something that have I naturally grabbed a hold of. And it was just nothing that I could do about it. It just happened naturally. But as a kid, I was about 8 years old, and I was making my own music, recording on the cassette tapes, making the beats on the Xbox. 8, 9, 10 years old. This is just naturally. It's just something I've been doing for a while.
And how long you say you've been doing it for a while? How long as a while? You said a while.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, yeah, it's just been it's been a, I wanted to call it a hobby for the longest time, but it's more like a lifestyle for me. It's my life. It's part of my life because I carried it with me for almost ever. So, and now I'm trying to turn it into a business. So that's basically where I'm at with it, and I want to do it full time. So whether or not I'm on a big screen, I just want to be able to eat off of my music. Something
Yes.
to put.
So what would you say has been the biggest struggle for you trying to get up and getting your music out there and going and producing?
The biggest struggle would possibly just having everything aligned perfectly. When you got stuff going and something don't go right, nothing ever aligns perfectly. But the biggest struggle would probably be that, and the fact that just you got life going on as you got life going on. You're trying to live this life and you got this life,
Yes.
slowing this life down. So it's just complicated at all times. Unless you got everything in order and everything is aligned perfectly, then it's just
I know you mentioned.
It time. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead and finish off. I know you had mentioned something earlier, so go ahead and finish what you were saying. You good?
No. I just want to add that little extra part. I just take extra time. I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh man, you good? No, it's all good, man. It's all love. I know you mentioned that you're in the hood, and you said the suburbs as well. So let me ask you this: so, with your style of music, do you take your experience from the suburbs, put it into a song, and then you take your experience from the hood, and put it in the song? Do you do stuff like that as well?
I mean, I didn't really had too much time to experience much, and I experienced stuff in the suburbs, but it wasn't much to it didn't influence my music as much as everyday do. Everyday life experience influences my music. So
right.
I could be writing about God one day. I could be writing about strip clubs the next day. I could be writing about riding and cruising, or just the other day I made a song for a politician that's running for mayor of University Park, Illinois, and I could be writing that. I could be doing that. But that's what I mean when I say I got so many outlooks on life. I can really talk about almost anything because I've been almost everywhere. When it comes to being in just different situations in different places.
I think it's good though that different things are inspiring you to write music. It's also just helping you to grow as a person, and just seeing what you're capable of. I think that I'm sure that sometimes those different ways it can be a challenge, and it's got to help give you that little extra motivation to say, damn, I did it. Like, I didn't know how I was going to pull that one off, but I did. So I think that that's amazing that you can be so versatile in what you're doing.
Yeah, I just like the creativity of the full process of creating the song. It's like You start with nothing, you get you a beat, a going, and a melody, and then it's flowing, you know.
Yeah, and that's it.
So
I mean,
it's the whole creative process for me that I admire.
well, let me ask you this too: how many songs do you write within a day?
Um, I want to say zero. I write. I can literally like write a song the moment I think about it, and it'll be done and in the moment. So I really write in the moment.
Mhm.
So as I hear something, an instrumental that I like, I would instantly write it basically in my head. That's how quick. But then it takes me to write it. The melody I will write in my head, and then I will finish the song on paper or whatever. And it takes that moment. I can be done with the song in that moment. So, and then it's just all about going back and freshening it up and tightening up all the loose ends and stuff. But other than that, it's a quick process for me. So I don't really sit back and do too much on a day to day basis. But I got so much music already stacked up that I haven't put use to. It's like I don't see no use of constantly making more and more when I had got so much to good music that I could be utilizing, you know. But other than
How
that, in the moment I can always get it done instantly, you know.
how many songs would you say, like, so far to date, have you put out there?
Uh, Probably hundreds of songs, but not all of them are still out there.
And I'm sure, I would have asked this at the end, but for anybody that's, listening in or that's going to go back at the end of this, where all can they see your music, like hear your music at?
And that's the sucky part. Like I don't want to send people to the wrong place, but you can go to Spotify and I got a mixtape out called Better, and then I have a single that I just dropped called To the Beat, but that's gonna be re-released soon. But it's still there for anybody who want to check it out. But it will be a full on re-release for that song, and it'll make a difference when I re-release it. But
Okay.
I got stuff on all platforms. You can check me out on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, all at the same name: TyChiMajor. That's Ty Shy Major. But because a lot of people think my name is Tai Chi Major, which I ain't bad because a lot of people I feel like that keep a lot of people off my ass when they think I major in Tai Chi. So I'll be like, damn, that's cool.
That's funny. Hey, take it.
Yeah, I see that. But yeah, it's Ty Shy Major, TyChiMajor.
Okay,
So
then.
that's on all platforms. I mean, if
And
you go check out my Facebook, you'll find some underground stuff, a lot of underground stuff, and also on my IG, you'll find full songs like underground stuff that's gonna get released in the future that has never been like touched on a music streaming platform. You know,
Mhm.
Another thing I'll ask you: who would you consider your biggest influence in hip hop music?
biggest influence, uh, hip hop music. I can't never pick one, so that's why I'm always like I can never pick one, but it always have to be between some of the greats, and that'd be Lil Wayne, Kanye, and 50. Some of those three, because 50 was somebody that I listened to. Like he that's where I get most of my create. I liked his he had a lot going when I started listening to him, but I listen to all genres of music, all type of artists. So and I got a lot of favorites or a lot of main ones, so I can't never choose one. But those three is who I mainly look for when it comes for like my style, as far as music.
Have you stepped out of your comfort zone and tried anything other than hip hop?
I do a little pop music here and there, and then I actually did a lot of R&B writing. I compose R&B songs, but I can't really sing them like I write them, so I don't really try it, but I do behind closed doors, do my thing when it comes to the R&B and all that. But I can't really, I wouldn't dare get on the mic and try to sing y'all a song.
Look,
That's
Yeah,
I think I can. I try to believe that I can sing. Look, but I would never sing for y'all either.
See, I could write it down, but it'll be a long time coming before I get the song sang to you. I can get it written down, though, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
let's talk about that too. Let's talk about how is the music scene in Chicago, Chi-Town, the Windy City. So how is the music scene there?
Oh, the music scene, oh, it's live. It's live all the time. Um, a lot of talent out here, a lot of talent. But it's a lot of focus on the drill scene. Um, I feel like it's a lot of talent everywhere. But Chicago specifically, we definitely got people just sitting about, just any moment can blow. Like from having the talent, if they have the work ethic and the people pushing them, or the just the right momentum at the right moment to shine that light on them, it'll definitely be a lot of people from Chicago that make an impact on the music industry in general. So the music scene is always hectic, it's always live, there's always people to network with. It's always talent here. So if you're looking for it, this definitely the place to be, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, it is. And I remember you mentioned 50 Cent. I remember when 50 Cent came out, I know everybody had the album, Get Rich or Die Trying. That was
Mhm.
his top
Yeah.
album when it first came out. Every track on there was a banger. What I love? I respect their work ethic. You know, M, 50, Dre, they call themselves a three-headed monster because of their work, their patience. I respect the work behind the music
Yes.
because you like I said, you taking time out of putting these lyrics together, you getting the beats right, and you're constantly grinding. I know you mentioned earlier, Ty, that you want to eat off this. Look at
Mhm.
50. 50 don't have to do music no more. He made his money, so he making money while he sleep. But he doing
Exactly.
television shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Eminem
yeah.
made their money. Eminem don't have to rap no more. Dr.
Mhm.
Dre don't have to rap no more because they made their money.
Mhm.
Master P, all them guys made Jay Z. He's a billionaire, but all of them made their money to where they could rest on their loins. They don't have to go do an album because they made it. And I know you want to be in that same neighborhood where okay, my music's good. I'm eating off this. I don't have to do another album if unless I want to. But I know that's
Mhm.
you want to be in that type of arena where I'm eating off this thing for years to come, not just for me, but for my children as well.
For sure, for sure. That's the goal. That's the goal to yeah, be able to give back and make sure other people can be as successful, or if not more successful than me. When you creating a way and you making a path for other people, it's always a lot to accomplish when you just not when you're not just doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for others too. So and yeah, that's what I respect the grind too, and that's what I mean when I say like Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, and Kanye, because they put in a lot. They put in a lot to get what they out and to get what they got out of it. And it's
Yeah,
just and I feel like that's basically what it takes to get to where you're going. It takes that consistency, and it takes that motivation, and it takes
yeah,
that push, and it takes you to be stronger than what you know to be. Like you know how strong you are, but you don't know how strong you can be. When you
right.
At
keep
it
pushing.
at any time, did you ever feel like the struggle was so hard, like you just said, maybe this isn't what I'm going to be able to do, maybe I'm not going to keep trying? Did you ever get to that point?
Oh yeah, I got a song that I'm ready to drop, and it goes. I'm gonna give y'all it's like it's nothing left to do for me but stack it a star. Been feeling like giving it up, but I've been going so hard. They don't want to see me finish clean. Been throwing dirt from the start. I shine bright. It's gonna be hard to get that dirt on the start. And that's real speaking, some real stuff. And that's actually something that I was looking into dropping real soon. So you kind of right on
Nice.
the money. And I have
Yeah.
so yeah, I have felt that way many a times, um, where I just feel like giving up, and I do. Sometimes I just sit back and I don't do nothing. I just like I already yeah, I sit back and I don't do nothing. I just think, and I try to clear my mind. I love clearing my mind, meditating. If I don't got a clear mind, like you won't get a clear answer. Nothing won't be clear. So I don't even want to talk to you if my mind isn't clear. Don't cloud my thoughts because now I can't communicate with you. And when I try to, I will shut you down. I won't shut down. I will shut you down.
Right.
Like goodbye. That's it. So yeah, it takes that, and that's basically what I've been going through a lot. That little, like I just had my aunt pass this last weekend. I haven't posted for 5 days after that, and it's not because I didn't want to post. It's because I had to clear my mind.
Right.
Right.
So I didn't shut down because I was still actively doing things, but I didn't clear my mind before I even give anybody anything. Give anything. But I don't call it shutting down. It's more like I'm just taking a break and meditating.
Man, and that's what's up. And I know before social media, back in the day, you had to get out there in the streets, hit that pavement, sell tapes and CDs out the trunk of your car before social media. The grind. You mentioned the artists, how that's what they had. Only thing they had was they dream. They dream to be successful. They dream to take their music to the next level, and they did it
Mhm.
like that, being consistent. And that's and a lot of them, they want to do this thing full time. So it's like either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna go home. I only got one shot at this, and I want to make sure I make the best out of it. And you don't want to live in that regret of woulda, coulda, shoulda. A lot of people live in regret. Oh man, I wish I would have did. I wish I would have done that. Get out the comfort zone. Don't be afraid. And a lot of times people get afraid. Fear.
I'm gonna call it now because what I've been doing, like I've been manifesting a lot of things, man. I've been speaking a lot of stuff into existence. I've been literally tuning into my spiritual, you feel me, my spiritual assets, so I can generate this energy that's being brought back to me. I'm trying to put out the right energy so I can get the right energy back, and I'm trying to ask the universe for the right things in the right way so it can come full force. And that's basically what's happening as I go along. Like day by day, I see a lot of things that comes into light that I thought of. Once you get the art of manifestation, it's nothing you can't have that you want. Like it's nothing that you can't accomplish really, because once you can see it, it's possible. Once you can believe, once it's there, it's hard to explain, but it's all about manifesting and speaking into existence and actually taking the necessary steps to get that manifestation to work, to click.
No, I
And that's
truly, I
basically
agree with you
it.
on that. I mean, and I think that's the thing is like trying to stay positive, trying to stay realistic, knowing that, we want it here and now, but it's not necessarily the here and now that you're really going to appreciate, but if you're speaking into existence, you're believing in it, you're believing in yourself, that's when, whoop, sorry, you guys, Karma decided to, help us out here. And that, by the way, that's, if you have seen her, she thinks she's got to be on every show. Okay. She's a little bit
Yeah,
of so she's a diva. She's got to be a camera hog. And now she was mad at me because I moved. And so she decided to knock everything down. But that is the thing is you've got to be, first you got to believe in yourself, believe in your dream. And then that, being persistent, not giving up when it is hard.
exactly.
And I agree with
Yep.
you 1,000% on that, Derek, what you said. Just going hard in the paint. You gotta realize you only got one shot. And then think about it, tomorrow's not promised, but you want to make sure you want to make the best out of it. You want to go full fledged in what you're doing, and you're very determined to get it. And we've been talking about this on the show. Me and Derek have been talking about this on the show as of late. The sacrifice. People want the success, Ty, but they're not willing to give up anything to get the success. It's like they want it easy, but it's not going to be easy. They want to be content, but it's not going to be content. You have to go out there and get it. You're going to have to give up some things. You're going to have to give up going out. You're going to have to give up some parties. You're going to have to give up. Sometimes may have to sleep for a couple hours to get back to work again. And that's what we didn't talk about later here on the show. It's like you have to give up something in order to get what you want, to obtain the wealth, to obtain the true riches in life. You have to give up something.
Hmm. I believe it, and yeah, it's basically called sacrificing.
Right.
Right. Yeah, we were talking to another guest that was on the show, and she was like, sometimes you have to say no to that, going out with your friends to have drinks because
Right.
You're, and like you said earlier, you're juggling wanting to, have growth in your music, but the reality of it is, you still have to take care of your business to make sure that you're surviving while that music is growing. And so finding that, equal balance between your dreams, the reality, and then on top of that, when you want a social life, you still want to do those normal things, it can be overwhelming. But it's that payoff. What am I willing to give up and sacrifice to make sure that this all happens?
Yeah. Because even Rick Ross, I read in Rick Ross book, he said in the book, our goals don't care about our excuses. Our goals don't care how you feel on that day. Our goals don't care about what's before you that day. The goal is you held with high water, blood, sweat, and tears. I'm gonna make it, and I want to see anybody succeed. And I love, and the guests we have on the show this Ray being uplifting, empowered about their beliefs, what they believe in, and what they're doing. Here on the show is all about turning your dreams into reality. And I know Ty, you turning your dreams into reality because, like you said earlier, your goal is to do this thing full time and to be able to eat off this thing. And you can't, and it will happen because we know that many other people are doing that. Um, that's what I'm talking about the rights here. So we know a lot of people doing independent artists. So you are an independent artist, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to go on being independent because you own the rights to your music. Because back then everybody was trying to go to a record label. But the record labels, you look at the stores, you really don't make the money from record label. They loan you the money, but you have to pay that money back. You have to pay the producers. Uncle Sam got to get his, the record label got to get their money back. So a lot of people start going independent. And I remember a story, I watched a Master P interview some years ago. And at that time, Michael Jackson was the hottest entertainer at the time. Mike had money. And Master P talked to Michael Jackson's lawyer. And guess how much he paid Michael Jackson's lawyer to sit down and talk with him? He paid him $25,000 to have a conversation with his attorney. And like P said, you got to invest in yourself. So Michael Jackson's lawyer told him, get a distribution deal. Don't get a record deal. Get a distribution, which means 80% go to you, 20% go to the distribution because they got to market and promote, but 80% goes back to you. Because that's how Michael Jackson was making all his money back because he was getting all his money back because it's like, why give the label all your money when you the one doing the writing, you the one being up all night? Why give them all the money when all that money go back to you? Because that's your gift.
Yeah, that's basically why I'm independent. And I don't see. I like to cut out the middleman. I basically I see business. I'm a businessman. I've been about business since a long time, since I was a kid as well. Like my first job was at a corner store at 9 years old, sweeping up. I was conducting business, trying to find a job at 9 years old. So, and from there I was at a car wash for 5 years, 5+ years, all through eighth grade through high school. Uh, well, even before eighth grade, I want to say like seventh grade. But so long story short, yeah, that's what it is. You got to be independent to actually benefit from what you got to offer. Like if you putting stuff out and you're not knowing what you could benefit from it, then you're gonna lose out every time because everybody else know what you're winning, and you just accepting what's being given to you or what's being told to you. I don't like being told stuff. I like to know for myself. So I like to do research. I like to be hands on. That's why I don't have a team of people, because I just like to be right there to know what's going on all the time. Not to say I'm just that type of person. That's just when it comes to my music. I definitely like to know more than a little bit, So I try to be everywhere at all times when it comes to that, and that kind of it kind of be a good and a bad though, it'd be good and bad at the same time, but at the same time, it does work in my favor to the point where I basically know everything I need to know now. You feel me? Like just having your hands on everything and educating yourself on everything is just makes you a better person. That's simply that, a better artist.
Yeah.
It just makes you stronger individually. Without so many people, that makes you a boss. It makes you able to hire other people to do what you already know how to do and tell them exactly how you want it done, because you know exactly how it needs to be done. You feel me?
Right.
Like
Yep.
the mind, it's a mindset thing, and once you got your mind right, it's only so much it takes to get there. You just got to put in the work,
Yeah, 1,000%. You got to put in the work because we know the music business can be a cutthroat business if you're not careful, and you got to be up on your stuff at all times because these sharks
sure.
out here will play you if you don't know the ins and outs. Contracts, they have some shady contracts too. You got to realize some people, man, they'll sign their life over. They understand the contract, and for you know it, this company is profiting off you and you're not even seeing that much, but they getting all of it back, and that's not fair. But that's how they do. It's really, really shady. So be up on your P's and Q's.
Yeah, I know how to read it. I know how to read and write. I know how to read and write pretty well, man.
Yeah. So all that stuff, man. Just be on your P's and Q's. That's for anybody. Be on your P's and Q's when it comes to business, because if you don't know anything, these folks will take you for a ride, and you gotta be careful. Desiree, have anything you want to ask Ty?
No, I was going to ask, I was just going to say, like, I agree with you on that pros and the cons to, and it takes a lot of self-confidence to be able to say, I'm going to do it independently, because especially if you're a young new artist that, you know that you're talented, that you are capable of doing it and creating this music, but not knowing where to start. I think the hard thing, like I just recently had experienced was, so I spent 2 years in Montana working with veterans there. And so met a wonderful, like my best friend and her kids. And, I'm like a second mom to her children. And so her daughter just went out to LA. She started, doing music, and she was sending me, her music, but she was like, you cannot let this get out at all until it gets released or it'll blow with the label. And I was like, oh, it's so good. Like, you could have done this all independently on your own. It's amazing. But I think the hardest thing for me was just not wanting to share it, because I was so proud of her, and I knew it was going to be a great song. And, she was like, it's not going to get released till, this time frame. But now she just got it released and she's doing well with it, and she's, making more. But I still feel like I wish that she had that self-confidence to be able to do it on her own, just because I know that it's a struggle. And I mean, I'm from California. I know how expensive it is to live there. So when you have a record label that's taking a lot of your, profits, that's even harder. You feel like, okay, I'm probably going to make it. But the truth is, you're sharing all of your rewards with somebody else.
Yeah, and that's it. Because I know they used to do I know they still do that. They used to do the poor boy copyright, where you do a letter, you send it to yourself, and you don't open it. Because we know copyright is a major thing, because people take your stuff, and you got to get it copyrighted or whatever. But you got to protect yourself. You got to protect your investment. You got to protect your access as well, because you got some sharks out there.
It's a lot. And I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying it's a lot, and I'll be trying to explain to people. I try to explain. I try to get people aware that it's what how deep it is, because a lot of people get into music thinking it's just I'm a rap and I'm gonna put the song out, and it's gonna go viral. And it's not that simple. It take a lot. There's a lot to it. It's a lot of business aspects of it that you have to actually take care of in advance, or else you're gonna lose out in the long
That's true.
run.
That's true.
For
You got to
sure.
think. You got to mix and master. You got to do all that stuff. You got to make sure it has that radio sound to it, because you see some
But
cats that
yeah.
throw
But
anything out. Go ahead.
other than that, I was talking about the copywriting and trademarking and all that type of stuff. If you familiar with all that, that's basically where you want to go before you even start to publish anything. So that's
Right.
basically it's a lot to it that I'll be wanting to explain to people. But there's so many people that wants to get into music because they see how quick and easy it you can get paid with a viral song, hit
Yeah.
song or whatever. So
And then
that's
you've
basically
got all these people that are preying on, these younger artists of, I'm going to make you a star. I'm going to make you so much money.
Oh,
I'm going to make
hell
you
yeah.
big. And all they hear is money, money, money. So they're like, okay, I'm in, not realizing that, they're putting themselves in a position. And I'm not saying that all record labels are, con artists. I'm not saying all of them are going to take advantage of people. But, you do see that being an issue with a lot of these younger, talented artists out there. Do you see yourself long-term staying in Chicago then?
I feel like I should be global. I feel like it's nowhere that I shouldn't be. I feel like as far as where I do belong, I feel like I could be everywhere, not just stationary. I feel like I should be here, there, and everywhere. So
Okay.
Chicago is my home base as far as where I will always be stationed. But other than that, it's no place it's no telling where you may see me next. Basically, what I'm saying. But I believe that yeah, it's no telling where you might see me next.
Man, and I know I tried this ready to ask you this question. I got some information about you. You mentioned vegan, right? Did you say something about vegan?
I said I was half vegan.
Half vegan, yeah, I saw that on there. And you don't eat shrimp? Like who?
Oh
Like
no.
who doesn't eat shrimp? Now, there's some ways I won't eat shrimp. Like I don't eat cocktail shrimp, but coconut shrimp or shrimp scampi or grilled shrimp. What is wrong with you?
It's crazy because I remember a time where I vividly remember a time where I used to eat shrimp, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to that time because I tried it recently, like not long ago, and it was just like, what? I couldn't handle the texture. I don't know even if I don't think even. And then I tried fried, I tried grilled. It's just like I don't even remember how I was even eating this in the first place. Like when did I ever like shrimp? Like I'm not allergic to it or nothing, but yeah, what happened is that I do a lot of fasting, and I kind of stick to my fruits and vegetables and herbal teas and things like that. But then I go and have a nice feast one weekend or whatever, and then I go back to my fasting and my natural herbs and fruits and vegetables and stuff. So that's what I
Okay.
mean by vegan. Because I still dibble and dab, but a little bit, just a little bit.
And I know that right there helps you out with your music and your business wise, and just being healthy, being more
Oh
alert,
yeah,
being more
oh
energetic,
yeah.
stuff like that. So,
Listen, fasting in itself is difficult. Okay, my sons, they fast. My oldest one, he's 22. He fasts like all the time, and he's like, "Mom, you can do it." I, I
It's a
think I
mind thing.
I think I made it like I didn't even make it like a half a day, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. He's like, Mom, you can do this, and I said,
Well, I'm glad we're talking about this though, because what you need to know about that, like food is really just an addiction. It's not even a necessity. It's really just an addiction. Because if you realize it, once you start fasting, you don't even crave food. You crave if you crave anything, it's only the flavors, the things that alert your taste buds. You're thinking about the taste of things. You're not even thinking of your stomach. The stomach is not begging you to fill it. It's if anything, your mind is telling you that you need this to fulfill it. But other than that, like your body doesn't force you to feed itself. Now, when you do get cravings, fruit, like natural vegetation and stuff like that is all you ever need. Like seriously. But
Is it
I've
he?
gone like I've gone without eating and I haven't even gotten an appetite. Like I go days just sitting around. People eat all day. What it is, you gotta retrain your brain, retrain your thoughts, retrain yourself to not, have those addictions. And that's
Right.
simple.
He said the same thing, and he was like, you only want to eat because you think you need to eat, or because you're just used to
Exactly.
having to eat something. And he's like, but
Exactly.
he's like, drink water. He was like, do put something else that's going to help flush out your system. But
Mhm.
he's like, and sometimes I'll show up at his house, and I'm one of those moms. I'm that mom that comes to your house at 11:30 at night to bring you some homemade brownies, or I'll bring the stuff to the house and I want to make brownies, and I show up at my son's house, and they'll be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, I just thought maybe you would want something to eat or some brown. And they're like, okay, but you also know we're fasting. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. They never turn down mom's cooking. Okay. And I'm just saying, but and even when they say we don't want those brownies, trust me, they eat those brownies every time. But it's weird just because I'm like, but aren't you like, don't you have those kind of cravings? And he'll say, no, I don't. And he'll say, and after a while, your stomach, you might even say, okay, I should eat something. Like after he's been fasting for a few days, he'll be like, I should eat something. He said, I can take 1 or 2 bites and then I'm done. I can't eat
You'll be
anything else.
full. You'll be full. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was telling people. Like you get full just off of a couple bites. Then but the first thing I did was I started detoxing, and it's the same thing for like smoking and any other addiction. It's all about just it's just that. It's just simple. But I started detoxing. You detox and you just slowly just ease your way off of it, whatever it is. Like and eating for me. See, I like working out, and I'm kind of I'm into like bodybuilding, even though
Okay.
I'm at. So I'm all that kind of coincide with what I wanted to do as far as me fasting and detoxing because it's helping me regulate my weight, and all that type of stuff. Keeping on muscle and keeping off fat. So it's really playing playing hand in hand with something else. So that's why it was more easy for me. But once you detox and once you stop, like I was saying, you won't even crave eating until you run into a commercial or something like that of something you like or anything like that. You see something. It's all about the mind trickery.
Oh yeah,
Oh
most
yeah,
definitely.
and I think it's also I'm a little bit of that rebellious kind of side. Tell me I can't, and I'm going to show you that I can. So I think it's that, like you said, of retraining your brain, knowing that I'm not supposed to makes me think, but I want to. And so but he even said that his taste buds changed when he started doing the fasting. He's
Oh
like, the
yeah, you
things
don't
that
even
you
like the
think
smell.
he's like, you think that you still like something, and he said, but then you realize when you put it in your mouth after not having stuff like that, he said it's a whole different, like, it tastes different. And then he said the other side to it is the other way too. He's like, things that I would have never ate before, now
Mm-hmm.
if I try it, I'm like, I actually kind of like that.
Yep. Yep. Straight hit it on the nail. Yep. And a lot of stuff will probably start smelling bad to you too, especially meat in general. Meat in general, no matter if it's tacos, all the stuff you used to like, it will start having that odor that you didn't notice once you stop eating. I guarantee you. Yeah,
Man. So,
that
and
that decomposing odor.
it's
It's in there.
important to stay.
It's in there.
Yeah, stop it. Ugh.
It's in there. Y'all
Yeah,
don't
because I
notice it. You stop eating it.
yeah, because I know our poop ain't even supposed to stink for real. If your poop is stinking real bad, that means something ain't right.
Yeah.
I looked at some of
Look,
that
You
the other
don't
day.
even,
I
you
don't
wouldn't
know how
even
we
notice
I don't know how we got on to fasting to my shit don't stink, but my shit don't stink. Look it.
But yeah, it's not supposed to. It's really not supposed to. If it's
Oh, that's a
smelling,
good
that
one. That
means,
was good. That was
huh?
good. I said that was good. I ain't never heard nobody say that, but that's actually I believe in that. I don't
Yeah,
even think it's
because
supposed to.
it's not your poop not supposed to stink. All the time it stink, that means you're not eating right or you need to be checked out because it's not supposed to. And you can tell how healthy it is by your poop. If it's come out soft or whatever, you're healthy. But if it come out hard, you could be dehydrated. I mean, just look this stuff up online. It's interesting. Like,
Well, it's the same thing with your urine, though. You know, if your urine smells,
no,
or if your urine's just, you know, if it's a darker color, you know
right,
that
you don't have enough water in your system.
this is what you can expect on these podcasts right here, where we will go talking about celebrating your success in your music to talking about whether or not if your shit stinks. So if anybody else is tuning in, just know it is completely unpredictable with us.
Yeah, it's not supposed to. I mean, and what else? You're not even like you're musty. People like you're not being musty is not healthy for real either too. It goes by the stuff that you eat and how we supposed to be healthy.
Well, it's no different than even, you know, like when I worked in the medical field, you know, they would say like wearing deodorant's really not good for you. And if you, once you like get that, all those toxins that are actually in deodorants out of your body, like you could actually go without wearing deodorant and not stink. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not saying people need to be going a month without washing their pits or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, it is sad. We do fill our body with so many preservatives and toxins that we don't even realize that we're causing more damage than we're doing good.
Right. Like the shampoo. The shampoo they be giving us ain't good. That's how it blocks out the hair fall. That's how people hair start falling out.
Let's talk about this fruit thing, man. This fake fruit, man.
Oh,
that's what it is. Seedless fruit, man. This is ridiculous. Somebody told me that, because I'm like, where do you find fruit with seeds in it? And somebody told me, you know, you got to ask them. They keep it in the back of the store. And then you go Google seedless fruit, and it's no such thing as seedless fruit, because seedless fruit is not considered a fruit. It's not. Right. It's not a fruit. You know. So right. What are we being forced? Because I call it a force. If I go to the store and I can't find a fruit with a seed in it, then it's almost like I'm forced to eat this because there's nothing else available. Right? Or is that, you know, like, it's just, I'm trying to figure out what's up with that situation. Where do we find real fruit, and why are we being, you know, pushed
at farmers market, at the fruit stands?
Yeah,
look at that. I mean, honestly, you that's probably where I find the best fruit, the healthiest fruit is whenever I go to, you know, the farmers market. And so, but you are right about how, and it's sad, like they make, you know, I'll be like on this good, like I'm going to eat good, healthy stuff, you know? And then I'm like, damn, why does it have to cost so much to eat good? Why does it have to cost so much to do something that's healthy for me? And then, but it's so easy and cheaper to fill your body with the shit that's actually killing you and that's making you overweight and not feeling good about yourself. Like when I eat something, I don't want to sit there and feel like, ugh, like I should not have eaten that, or now I need to lay down to take a nap, or now my stomach hurts, you know, but that's the food that most people are able to afford versus, you know, the good stuff that we should be putting in our bodies.
And then they don't make it easily accessible at all. So that's the part that I was talking about.
Yeah. You need to find you a farmer's market nearby or something, because that's probably where you're going to get lucky.
Yeah, but that's the best way to go, farmer's market, because you go to the grocery stores like Walmart, places like that. Now, yeah, farmer's market like this would be the best way to go. Like you think about the Impossible Whopper, they say that's not good. You know, think about, you gotta be careful too. A lot of people are they going with that plant-based stuff and organic. So that's another thing you have to do, because they just they'll put a label on it and they'll tell you it's organic. It was like, oh, this is good, this plant-based is good. And that's another stuff you have to be careful of too, because they just putting labels on everything now.
Yeah, see, I got homies, man. They be growing having their own gardens, growing their own food, and yeah, that's the way to go nowadays. Just being completely independent, like, and build these communities, man. That's what it is. Like I said, the mayor for University Park. Well, the politician that's running for mayor of University Park. University Park is a 97% black-owned neighborhood. Most of the black people in University Park own their homes. So to say, you know, so as they speak. But what I'm saying is that's basically the goal, is for a lot of black entrepreneurs to grow and build and be able to, and just pave a way for a lot of people that's trying to be a community and not trying to, you know, hurt each other and all that nonsense. That's the negative that we speak of. We're trying to
Right.
do positive things and just be better.
You know, you
So,
saying about, growing your own fruits and stuff, which, this past year, I definitely grew a lot of, our fresh veggies and stuff. But that's another thing that was different. Like as a child, like it was a must that we always had a garden. And I'm talking not just, like a few plants. I'm talking we had our okra, our corn, our potatoes. You had every pepper, you had your lettuce, your cauliflower, everything. And that was part of your chores, was going out and making sure that you tended, to this garden. But it was so much healthier to eat. But also when you have a larger family, obviously it's a cheaper way to eat too. But I miss as a kid, I'm a little corny, I guess. I loved like when it was time to
we need to
dig.
bring that.
I
Those
love
are the
digging
best
for
values.
I love digging
Those
for
are the best
potatoes,
values.
not knowing how many potatoes were going to be under there when you would get to the potato. Like I get excited over that. Now I'm not excited of picking okra. Like that is such a pain in the ass. But like I miss shucking fresh corn, and I miss picking your green beans from a garden that you knew you worked so hard to get these plants. Like that's things that we don't do with these generations anymore. It's sad. I don't even know when the last time was that I've seen like kids working in an actual garden for their home.
So you basically know how to cook from scratch as well.
Yes.
Exactly. So it's hard to even find a woman that can cook in general. So that's a value in women and people in general that needs to come back. So when you say maybe you just corny, like no, that's something that actually is well needed in the community. Like as far as building a community, that's very important. Having those skills and having that experience, that's something that's very teachable to a new generation that that doesn't even know that's where it come from, that's where it started from, that's where it began, that's where it all, like a lot of people missing out on the past that we experienced. A lot of stuff that is not being taught to this day. Like a lot of stuff is not being taught.
Right.
A lot of stuff is not being taught.
I mean, it's so weird for me to think that, because I'll be 44 in July, even though I'm getting up there in age, I don't feel like I'm that old. And it's so weird for me to see how different it was for me compared to what it is even today for our generations today. I'm like, how did it change so fast? Like, and so drastic at that. And then, I keep thinking like, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. But I grew up very poor. And so, that was the cheaper way to feed our family, was to be able to grow your own stuff. And but again, it's not even now, like how many kids do you see that are cooking in the kitchens with their parents or learning how to cook meals from scratch? You don't. You see, making homemade chicken and dumplings. Like I make my dumplings like homemade dumplings. Like I'm not doing this, store-bought stuff. And when somebody else will come and eat it, they're like, where did you buy these dumplings? And I'm like, from scratch. That's where those dumplings came from. And so
technology doing it. Technology changing the world right now.
Oh yeah.
And that's basically what it is. As long as technology continues to stay advanced, then it's gonna separate a lot of people, because a lot of people are gonna be stuck on technology, and then the people who's not, it's gonna be right there looking at the people. It's a mess right now. It's a mess when it comes to the technology in the real world, because nobody's really living in the real world. Everybody's living the technology world. So you're really facing multiple worlds right now, multiple realities right now, if you want to call it that. And we're trying to intertwine, and it's not really working out. That's why it's gotten so advanced to the point where people didn't even realize what a house phone was. Like I've seen viral videos of people like kids, new generation of kids, discovering what a house phone is. Like stuff like that. So they don't know about farming, and unless they grew up in that condition.
True.
I remember having to go and get eggs out of, the chicken coops, and my biggest fear was what I was excited to get eggs to see how many eggs were in there, but then I was scared to death. What if there was a rat snake or a chicken snake, out there, if you were to tell kids today to go get some eggs, they'd be like, I'm not eating that. Ooh, it's got bird poop on it. That's just, and I'm thinking, okay, so you'd rather have these store-bought ones that, aren't as fresh and, no telling what all is on them, in them, whatever, what they've been feeding those chickens. It's a whole different mindset, I'm telling you. And I hope that, I have a grandbaby that's going to be turning 2 in June. And, I hope that it goes back to the way it was, whenever we were younger for her. And, luckily she lives on, enough land that she has the cows and the chickens and the goats and stuff like that. So she's getting the best of that farm life, but it's still, it's sad to see what kids are missing out on.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, we got, like you said, I've got to bring that stuff back. We really do got to bring that stuff back around. Nobody ready to get off the air shortly. So, Deidre, do you have anything you want to ask T.Y. before we get off the air?
Yeah, I would just, if there was something you could do to say today to help motivate the younger, generation as far as following that music career, what advice would you give those that are listening today?
Oh shit. Just find out what you're good at. Find out what you love to do. Find out what your style is. Ask your friends, ask the people around you to rate and critique your music. Therefore, you're not just making anything, and take it serious if you really want to make a business and make money off of it, and do it persistently, like just give it a big push and actually work on yourself, better yourself to better your music, better your craft. You only as good as you can be as a person. Your music is only going to be as good as you are. So you just got to be great, just build yourself up, invest in yourself, and stay focused.
That's it.
And also just believe in yourself and manifest what you believe in by speaking it into existence, and just stand in tune to who you are eternally.
I love that. And I think that is so important. I think that that's what I would hope to see people do, is to just stay true to who you are, stay humble, stick to your core values, your ethics and morals, and not try to change who you are just to be able to fit in or to be what is claimed to be successful. If you believe in it, achieve it, don't let anybody change. And I think that is so important. Furman, I was thinking we should get T.Y. and Anthony Amos that's out there in Chicago together and let them come up with something creative. I think that'd be great.
Oh, most definitely. We had him, another brother out of Chicago, great guy. He designs sneakers, he designs shoes, and doing a lot of great things out there. So
he works a lot with the youth, and he's real, wants to be real supportive of the generations that are, being brought up without all the privilege. And so I just think, that would be a great, experience maybe for some of the youth to maybe, he helps them to where they get to be creative and design, shoes. And how great would it be if you guys could kind of collaborate and do a day to where, you guys are working together on inspiring those to do music as well as, the talent behind designing of shoes. I think that'd be awesome.
That sounds dope, man. I'm definitely with all of that type of stuff. I'm looking for more people that's trying to build relationships like that, man. That's actually doing positive things for people, and that's what I'm about, for real.
Man, that's most definitely. He's out there in Chicago. I'll be glad to send you his information to you, and you can connect with him. Know that we sent. Let them know we sent you.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of just. Don't you think it'd be kind of fun just to see where that could lead, Furman? As far as collaborating together with those schools there, with those young ones. And so he does it to where, they obviously have to be, behaving right in school, making good grades, but it is for the underprivileged children, but inspiring them to want to follow their dreams and to use that creative side. And I think that it's positive mentors like yourself and Anthony that, that our communities need. But to see two different, talented artists come together and do something magical with the youth. I think that's freaking brilliant. I think I'll come to Chicago for that event. Hey, I'll come cook a home cooked meal. How about that? That'll be my contribution to being there.
We appreciate that out here in Chicago for sure.
Oh man, that's what's up right there. Like I said, man, we had a great time here on the show. We thank everybody for hanging out with us. We thank everybody for watching us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live as well. We thank everybody. Man, go to our YouTube page. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. We live stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. You never miss new episodes every week here on the podcast. So there's always new episodes. Like I said, we about to get off this thing as well. So man, we know of course this is WrestleMania. For those who don't know, I'm a big time wrestling fan. And it is WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania starts tonight. So I'm gonna watch that a little bit before I get ready to go to work tonight. Of course. So y'all have
Are you gonna go get yourself hyped up before you go into the jail? He's gonna go in all feeling like he's all ready to do it and stuff. And I just want to go ahead and say I love your website, this Making Major Movement. Love it.
Thank you.
Is it spelled right on there? MEBTS?
I can't even see it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It looks like, I don't know, was it supposed to say movements? It has a B in it instead of a. So I just want to make sure that we have it correctly when we go to advertise it out, because I definitely want people to be able to.
Can you see it? Right?
No. It's movements with an N, not B. I don't know why there should be no B in there. It should be an N.
That's good. I just want to make sure that we put it out there right for everybody so that people can definitely follow you and see how your journey goes. And we would definitely love to, circle back around later and see how things are thriving for you and have you come back on the show and, watch some of the other episodes, but definitely connecting you with Anthony that's out there in Chicago as well. And, I keep teasing Furman that we're going to try to do that. We should be doing like a mobile podcast one time. Like we'll be on the spot. Like that's what we need to do. We decided Germany was one of the places that I guess that we're putting on that bucket list of going to another guest.
You know it.
And so, but so I wish you the best of luck, and definitely keep us updated. Let us know when some new music comes out, and we really definitely appreciate you taking your time this early Saturday morning to come on live with us to tell us all about what you're doing.
I appreciate y'all, man. I definitely enjoy being here on the podcast with y'all, and we definitely gonna tune in again and talk about some greater topics. And I'll definitely catch y'all later on the next one, for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We appreciate you, TY. We thank you for hanging out with us this morning. Hope it said, of course, you can go back and watch the replay. The auto version will be up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on all social media platforms. Matter of fact, y'all follow us on the platform as well. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Download the episodes, because I think a few weeks back, I think it was like 1,600 some downloads from the podcast. So we thank everybody for downloading them. Like I said, we are on Google. You type in Walking This Ways and we're gonna pop up as well. So we are on Google. So Google it. So we are getting out. It's talking about our work process and just keep putting in the work. Like I said, we about to get off this thing. Also, man, y'all got to remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. They thought they were gonna see tomorrow, and they didn't. Let's live life like it is our last. So most importantly, enjoy your life, love yourself, go after your goals, go after your dreams. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. You can do it. You will make it. You will succeed. Create the life you want to live. Don't settle. Okay? If you settle, all you're going to do is build somebody else's life. So build your own life. You are the CEO of your own life. So act like the CEO, act like the president, act like the vice president, act like the king and the queen, whatever you want to call yourself. Operate like that in your life. You are the author of your own book. You write your own book. You write your own story. And let your story inspire somebody else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, absolutely. Man. Well, definitely thank you guys so much. I enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to, I've got some chores to do around the house and do some mowing of the yard today. So I'll have to definitely go on and to Spotify and listen to this album that you've got out so that I can, hear that music. And so I'll definitely be circling back around. I'm all about giving my 2 cents on what I think. So, it's like, be prepared for that.
Every time I drop, it's only getting better. All right.
Look, I support you. Listen, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm sure it's absolutely fabulous. I can't wait to listen.
I love all criticism. Trust me. I don't shy away from none. If you got an opinion, please send it my way. I don't care how it sounds. As long as I know somebody listening, that's all that matters to me. You feel me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, because I always room to grow. They think about it in sports. Why did they got a film room? The film room is to go back to critique what you did wrong. That's how we should be in our own life. Go back and see what you did wrong, and you go and correct it. So that's being corrected is a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with being corrected. It's a beautiful thing.
And it don't even mean that. That's the thing, though. Is it's not even like you have to agree with what my opinion might be. It's just my opinion, And I think that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. Is this whole, everything doesn't have to be, a conflict. It doesn't have to be an argument. People are entitled to their opinions and stuff. What I might, Furman and I could listen to the same thing and he could have one whole different opinion about it than what mine is. It doesn't make one of us right, one of us wrong. It just means that it's hitting us both differently. But that also doesn't mean that you wouldn't take something out of it that says, I actually like what he thinks and what she thinks, and now I'm going to incorporate that into something else. But unfortunately, like I said, a whole nother conversation for another day, because people are so defensive. People don't know how to listen. They automatically just want to react to you're full of shit. And so, and then it become a conflict. So I love that. But if you want to know more about what Anthony's doing there, we had him on just a few episodes ago. So if you go on and look for his episode, definitely download it, listen to it, or catch it where we recorded it live and see what he's all about. And that will give you kind of a better idea for him.
Okay, for sure. I'll definitely take care of that.
Yeah, it's like 2 plus 2. I mean, everybody do 2 plus 2 different. Everybody write the number 2. Some write 2 ones, but it's, at the end of the day, it's still gonna lead to 4, right?
Yeah, but even today, the way they're teaching kids how to do math today is absolutely ridiculous. Like doing all this long form, stuff. No, I know. How I know 2 plus 2 is 2? Because I know 2 plus 2 equals 4. Not this whole drawing it. Yeah, let's not get into that. I'll have some teacher friends not liking me in a minute. So.
Well, I just want to throw that out there because even though it may lead to we may look at it different, but we know it's going to lead to the same answer. So that's why I'm just throwing a little logic out there. But
look, I'm going to say this just because now you got me on this route up thing. When my son was in school and the teacher kept saying that he was getting something wrong on this, how come 5 is greater than 3? And, he said, because 5 is greater than 3. And she kept telling him it was wrong and giving him a bad grade. And I was like, what is your problem? Like, I don't understand. Like, we all know the alligator mouth is going to go towards the bigger number, right? Because that's the way we grew up doing it. And she's like, no, he didn't solve it out. I said, how do you solve it out? Like, everybody knows clear as day, 5 is greater than 3. And she's like, he needs to draw a line. He needs to mark it like this. He needs to number it. He needs to show his work of how he knew 5. Y'all.
Indoctrination.
Yeah, man, that's some deep. Yeah, it's real.
Did either of you in school have to draw out a line and number it, like put markers on it and number it to know that 5 was greater than 3? Yeah, probably not. You probably didn't have to do that, right? No, because I know I sure didn't. And so, but that's what's going on with these kids today. And I hate it for them. But that's okay, we're not. I'm going to go.
Yeah, I was going to add to that, but I don't want to keep it going if y'all trying to stop it. Stop it now.
Oh, no, look he's used to this. He was saying the other day his podcast used to go 30 minutes to an hour. Is that right, Furman? Yeah. I'm not sure if there's been one since I joined on this, 7 podcasts ago, that we've been under 2 hours. Let's be honest with it, okay? I can go.
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off again, but I was just going to say, they say they took they stopped teaching I believe it's the Declaration of Independence, or what is it? Shit.
I think that is what they stopped.
It's one. It's something, but it's a
Yeah,
lot of stuff that they want
they
teaching
got the
and
amendments, right? The amendment rights. You
the
know, do that,
amendments and all that. Yeah, and also it tells you. It basically someone explained that it tells you that we as the people have the right to fight back against tyranny.
right? Mm-hmm.
You know, which defines as a government that is, whatever the case may be,
Right.
whatever the definition may be. But basically, it's a lot of stuff that they don't want people learning, and that's what I mean by as far as being a spokesperson and someone that could teach the new generation what needs to be taught, and like she said, like taking them through that much just to know five is greater than three when it's easily understood once you explain it to the kid that this number is bigger than this one. That
Right.
is just more, that all that is. It's not you're not learning nothing from that.
No,
They
just
need to
cover.
they need to put back in schools how to balance your checkbook. Kids these days are like a checkbook. What is that? What is a ledger? Uh, you know,
That's
I
another thing.
they
That's
don't know
another thing.
those kind of things. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's another thing I spoke on. I didn't have that in school. I didn't have that in. I didn't have a business class. Everybody's like, oh, that was whatever they call the class. Well, guess what? Everybody didn't have that class. So when you speaking of that, it's not an equal opportunity for everybody coming up. So don't just that's something that people need to realize that not everyone has an equal opportunity. So once
That's what I'm
people.
saying. They need to put that in the schools. That needs to be across the board for everybody. We need to be teaching our younger generation how to budget your finances. We need to be teaching them, that it's not about just having this plastic card that you can swipe
Mhm.
and think that there's an endless amount of money that's on this card. You should be able to, like, we need to be teaching them how to manage their finances so that they're not getting themselves into debt. We have
Right.
so many people out there in the
And it's
community that are overexpending, living
Mhm.
outside your means, and then they wonder why there's robberies going on, or why there's this petty
Oh
theft,
yeah.
and because it starts in the beginning. If we're not instilling those important values in our generations in the very beginning, what do you expect? You got people sitting here saying drive this $70,000 truck, but you make 20,000 a year. Well, I don't find that very realistic when our mortgages have gone up more than triple. I remember when I was 17 and my rent was like I think it was like $375 for a 3-bedroom house. Now I pay, $2,000 a month for my 3-bedroom house. And I'm thinking, like, you're, thank God I was taught to live within my means. But you've got society who's telling you, you have to dress this certain way. You need to wear this expensive brand. You need to drive the best vehicle to be popular and fit in school. You know what? Back in our days, we were just happy if we could have a vehicle. You were happy if you didn't have to walk or, bum a ride off of somebody else. You didn't care if that vehicle had the freshest paint job on it. If it had 4 wheels and it got you from A to B, you were grateful. Our kids today are like, I'm not driving that. My friend over there has a BMW. Why would I drive this this Camry? We don't teach them what it's like to work for what they have anymore either. You've got parents trying to show up the next parents of, well, they got their child this, Jeep. And so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get my child the brand new Bronco that's out. Whatever happened to teaching our kids to get a job and start saving so that you knew when you turned 16 that you were going to have to actually maybe help with that down payment or the gas that you put inside that vehicle? We don't do that. We hand it over to our children. We are enabling them to find themselves into debt. And,
Yeah. And then they don't have any trade skills either. They don't, and then they don't want to learn them once they get to a certain point of just like, oh, I don't care about that, I just pay somebody to do it. But what happens when you don't have the money, or what happens when somebody's not available? Come on now, like, you got to have some type of trade skills, you got to have knowledge, is power. Like, that's just that's all. Knowledge is power because
And
there's
you
much
got,
more you can do.
yo, I'm gonna say with a trade, you realize you can make a lot of money with trades. You don't understand that. Mechanic, air
Yeah.
conditioner, plumber.
Mhm.
They don't see when you mention that kind of stuff. They think that's a poor man job. It's really not a poor man job.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
yeah.
think they need to sit in an office behind a desk where it's air conditioned, or they don't know what it's like to get their hands dirty. I mean, for I think one of my favorite, classes in, when I was in high school was our horticulture class. I loved going into the greenhouses and having to actually tend to those plants and learning how to do that kind of stuff. We had mechanics, we had the mechanic classes in there. Now it's like, well, I couldn't even go out until I knew how to change my own tire. I was not even, and I didn't even have a vehicle at the time, but I still had to learn how to change a tire. You have kids
That's
today
true.
that don't even
That's true.
know how to what they panic. Like, what is a jack? Do I have a spare tire? You need to know what's in your vehicle before you're going out. And not even just for the sense of what could happen. You need to know who's getting in your vehicle. What are they bringing into your vehicle? Plain dumb. If you're caught with booze or drugs in your vehicle, and they're like, "Well, I didn't know." You need to be aware, because that's what we're living in. That's the society that we're living in as well. But we're not doing that for our kids. We are actually enabling them to fail instead of setting our kids up for success. And it is so disappointing to see that happen. And then you have those same people on their high horse looking down and saying, well, the schools failed them. Well, this failed them. Well, this failed them. You are the parent. It is important that you are teaching them what they need to know. I went through that. I mean, obviously I was living on my own at 16. You think I didn't go where I was eating ramen noodles only and my electricity was being shut off, and then I had to go out and figure out how to hustle money to be able to get that electricity back on? You did I wasn't too good to go mow a yard. You ask a girl now to go mow yards to make some money, and she'd look at you like you'd lost your damn mind. And that's that privileged mindset that we are continually increasing in this generation. And I'm just fired up. Okay, I'm just look, it bothers me. It truly does bother me. And don't get me wrong, guys. And because if anybody that knows me is watching this, they're going to say, you do so much for your kids. You're damn right I do. I do a lot for my kids. And I will always do for my kids. Part of that is because I didn't have that mom to do things, for me. And so I overcompensate. I get that. But I also know my kids also know how to do it for themselves. They're street smart. They can hustle for money. They work hard. And they stay out of trouble, most importantly. And so, for me, especially working in working for the city attorney's office, like, that's important that my kids are never on that docket. But I think it's all about also teaching your kids to be humble. It's okay if you're in a lifestyle that you can do and provide for your kids financially, but you need to teach your kids to stay humble. You've got kids out there committing suicide because they're being picked on for the things that they have that's not as great as others. You've got, these privileged kids that if they wreck a vehicle, it's okay. Mommy and daddy will buy me another one. Mommy and daddy could probably financially buy you another one, but mommy and daddy should also be teaching you that you should be taking care of that vehicle, and that you're not going to just get another one because you decided to go and act like a damn fool.
That's why we have to learn not to be, even though we in the world, but we got to be not of the world. So in other words, we have to break the world's influence on our mindset. So we have to be reprogrammed and be renewed. So that's where I got that from. Be not of the world, in the world, but not of the
And
world.
you saying like trade schools, so many good trade schools and not being looked down on. I'll tell you what, it bothers me at times to know that I have debt for college, that for me to have my master's degree, and now I've got this huge debt that I have to constantly get a call or a bill sent in the mail, like, your dues or need to be paid. But I can look at somebody who does trade and never stepped a foot in college, some that never even finished high school, and they're making 4 times the amount of money that I'm making. And I think, stop looking down at those people. Those people are doing good. They're successful. They're making more money than some of us that now have a college debt that we're having to pay back. So I think that people need to stop being so judgmental.
Because they like you mentioned earlier, there's where they allow social media to influence them. And that's the problem. They like that stuff they do on social media, a lot of this stuff be fake. That stuff gonna be real.
I mean, and that's the thing, though. People aren't seeing that. People post what they want you to see. You don't know if half of the stuff that people are posting on social media is true or not. You got people. How many times you got people posting that they're in this wonderful, happy relationship, and there's always that one person that's sitting there saying, "Really? Because I saw what the hell happened last night. That wasn't looking all happy and cozy. Like, oh, he loves me and I'm his everything." But people want you to see this other side of them instead of just being true to who you are. I think that we need to start teaching people to stay humble and be authentic. Stop trying to be like somebody else. I that bothers me. There's a difference between wanting to do something to help improve yourself because it's something you believe in. And we talked about this for a minute about how I wanted to have that procedure done. That's not because I need the world to accept me to be a thinner person. That's because that's what I want for myself. I want to feel better and healthier for myself. So, that's what that's where we're needing to try to make some different changes in the way that we view ourselves. We're not loving ourselves, but we're expecting everybody else to love us.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
and see, and TY, this is why we don't get off these shows in an hour, okay? It's because I get on this little tangent about.
I do this all day at the crib anyway. I mean, wherever I'm at, we always get into these back and forths about this and that topics, just jumping out I love this type of discussion, so that's why I'm just here listening.
I mean, because it's important. I think it's important to have these kind of conversations. Honestly, you've got these kids that are out there, doing self-mutilation to themselves because, they think that that's cool when they see somebody else that is like known for it, or, well, she's popular, she does this, and then so she does that. Why are we thinking that that's okay? Like, and I know I am as guilty as anything about not loving myself when I should. And I'm my worst critic. I promise you I am. But I'm working every day to try to be better at that, trying to be mindful in front of my, 8-year-old niece, not to say negative things about myself, because then I know that's what I'm teaching her to do for her, to herself. And she spends a lot of time with me. And so I think that it's just really important that we still need to know that even no matter what age we are, that there's others that are looking up to us. So we need to be an example.
Yeah, because I was looking at how much do a plumber make. High-paying plumber job. Plumber engineer salary range from $73,000 to $97,000 per year. Plumber designer salary range from $60,000 to $83,000 per year. A resident plumber salary range from $46,500 to $82,500 per year.
Yeah, but but if we're being realistic, here's the thing: is our generation right now. If you were to say, "What does your daddy do?" and somebody says, "Oh, my daddy's a defense attorney at this law firm," what does your dad do? Oh, he's a plumber.
Yeah, I'm looking in Texas, Desiree. It said plumbers in Texas typically charge an average of $25 to $250 per hour for most jobs. This dated back to January 12, 2023.
I know that whenever I had to have a plumber come to the house, it was $75 an hour. And it didn't matter if he was there 10 minutes or he was there that full hour. I had to pay that $75. I assure you, as I stand in front of this screen, I do not get paid $75 an hour, okay? But I also don't want to do the job of a plumber. So I'm definitely grateful he's earning that $75. But that's the problem. People don't see that.
And if you get a trade, now, if you work for a company, just think about the work you're doing on the side. That's a side hustle, too. You've been certified. Because I remember back at home, it was a mechanic. He worked for a mechanic shop, but he did cars on the side, too. To him, that was an extra income.
Right.
So it's ways to make money. If you don't really know what people look down on, dentists make money, too. They make good money.
But do kids even know what it's like to work 2 jobs? I mean, when I was 17, I had 2 full-time jobs and I did a part-time job. And that's how I was able to make ends meet living on my own when I was so young. You can't even get kids to do that these days. They barely want to show up for their one job.
Nobody want to work. I'm looking at it now right now. The average dentist salary for Texas is $150,600. Matter of fact, they make $72.15 per hour. That's a dentist.
Well, and I get, I get money's not everything. Okay. We talked about this on a different podcast too. I've been offered plenty of other veteran service jobs, that definitely would make more money, but I am very content. I'm happy with what difference I do make working in the courts. So it is not all about money. I hope nobody on this show is thinking that that's what I'm saying. It's about, it's about living within your means, but also finding what you feel is considered successful for you. And for me right now, I'm successful in what I'm doing because I know I'm making a difference. And so, just chase your dreams, guys. Don't let anybody look down on you. That's what I'd have to say about that.
Yeah, never let them look down on you. Now we're just throwing stuff out there. How people look down on certain positions, and you can make the best out of it. It's up to you. Like I know, but it's 12 o'clock, so we already at our 2-hour mark. We're about to be ready to get off this show, and we'll be back here Tuesday night here on Walking His Way Impact Boys Podcast, prime time at 7 p.m. Before we get off the air, T.Y., you have any final remarks for the listening audience?
What was that question?
You have
any final remarks?
Oh man, y'all just stay blessed and stay true to yourself and grow, do better. Just keep doing better. That's it. That's all.
That's it. Cause you know what, T.Y., we are already we're in a new month now. We're already in the 4th month of 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Either you gonna change or you gonna remain the same. It's up to you. Don't be trying to wait till all the way to next year and say this is my year, this is my season. We are in the 4th month already in 2023. Either you gonna change or you just gonna remain the same. It's really the choice you have to make. So be true to yourself. Be real with yourself. Work on yourself. Get better. I'm gonna get better. I love it. Love being a student. When you be a student, you all want to grow anyway, right? So be a student in the game. So, man, y'all have a great day. We'll be back here Tuesday night here on Walking His Ways Impact Boys Podcast. Desiree, have anything you want to leave with the listening audience?
No, just to tell people to stay humble, and TY, definitely, hope that we stay in contact. I want to be able to support you in any way that I can with your, music, getting it out there. And definitely would love to just see that growth and success that you have. I'm putting it out there for you. Okay. I know you're going to do great things. And, so definitely keep us in the loop. Okay.
Thank you. I will do. I got you. Yep.
That's it. Well, I guess we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Super. All right. So
Thank
we got this.
you for having me.
Yes. Thank you.
Back here on the Walking Way. Appreciate it. We got this thing here about it, man. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. We're going to be back here Tuesday night here on Walking His Ways Impact Boys Podcast. Be blessed, everybody.
Keep making major movements.
Yes.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's driving. Tyson with the